mate?
Yes, you right?
Big O's, what are you saying?
Not too bad, man. How are you?
Aye, good, mate. To be honest, it's a strange one because after the 3-1 defeat, I think we still played pretty well. I think the scoreline's harsh.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, to be honest with you. Like, I'll comment on her just to say that as well. Like, I feel like my biggest thing, anyways, with Newcastle is obviously I've always wanted us to fight in it and to sort of obviously compete in it. So, but I felt like we did that, this evening. That we compete against Spurs. We gave Spurs a good game in it. But obviously, we all know what happened, and obviously, just certain mistakes from certain players sort of let us down. But all in all, I can't be too harsh on the players because they played well. Second half, even like second half, and also first half as well. We were in the game. Before they scored their first goal, we were actually in the game. And their first goal come out of nothing, from Charles' mistake, isn't it? So I can't be too harsh on boys because they competed today. How many times have we seen us sort of sit back against certain teams and they have all the ball and we're just sitting back? But I didn't see that. So and I've always said to everyone, losing happens, innit? And it's about how we lose. And I don't mind how we lost today because we played quite well, and obviously second half the game changed a little bit because I don't know why Steve Bruce started Yedlin. I don't know why, because just throughout the whole first half I was just sort of struggling to sort of see where he was playing. Was he playing wing back or was he playing back mid? I couldn't see it myself, and obviously Bruce made the change at half time. And we could see the difference going forward, man. Especially on that right hand side as well. So I just feel like that should have been done before the start of the game. Lazaro on the right, going forward, he's much better. So that's sort of the only thing. But I mean, yeah, it wasn't as bad as people are making it out to be. Yes, it's 3 defeats in a row. But I mean, I can't really blame the boys because they're safe now, isn't it? They've spent the whole season fighting for their lives. I mean, and I'm always the one. I'm the person that's always sort of complaining or whatever. But on this occasion, I can't really moan about the attitude. If anything, it's more about now next season. If anything, I feel like this season's done. It's finished. Season's done. We're probably gonna finish 14th or 13th. If you had said that to me in August, I would have bitten your hand anyways. So I don't want to come across now as obviously a bit ungrateful, because I know when we lost, I think it was Wolves or West Ham in the Asia Cup. Can't recall who it was, but I just sort of thought them times, it's not looking good for us. But I mean, 43 points. I'm not complaining, to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same, mate. Like, lately I've been ranting a lot, especially towards Ben 11, the players' attitude and the manner of defeat. Like, I expect to get hammered off Man City, but the players didn't put an ounce of effort in. But today, we've still ended up on the wrong side of a 3-1 loss, but we've played well. We've actually tried. They've put some pride into the shed. They've went out there with an intent. They've went out there with the pressure off, like it has been for weeks. They've actually seemed to enjoy themselves today. Obviously, especially St. Maximin gets on the ball, runs at people. Lazaro doing more in 45 seconds than Yedlin did in 45 minutes. Like you see, that's a weird start for me, because you think Yedlin's going to be here next season. There's been a lot of talk that he's already had discussions with other clubs and representatives of Newcastle, but to me it looked like the night his head's not there, is it?
Do you know what? I kind of feel sorry for him because he gets a lot of stick, but he's not. He's actually not our worst player. So I don't see him as a win back. So obviously for me today, he played out of position. I would much rather have him right back than right wing back. So, but at the same time, I can understand people's obviously issues with him. Obviously, he just doesn't seem solid enough. Like if you compare him to, let's say, Rose or Richie, and then you've got a point to sort of shout him. But I mean, if it's his time to go, then it is, isn't it? But at the same time, he's not the only person that sort of has to go if they're gonna go. I know. I feel like we've got a lot of deadwood in the team, and I'm kind of bored of seeing certain players playing for us now. Like I'm kind of bored of seeing, like, I don't know, just the squad, and I just feel like the squad just needs a bit of a revamp. And hopefully this stuff with the takeover does happen, because if not, man, next season could be a tough one, because because I can't see Ashley obviously investing in the club if this deal that doesn't go through. So what we have now, we might have next season. And but the positive thing is obviously that Bruce has changed his approach, and he's obviously now starting to play football and trying to compete. Like I've always said from the beginning, as long as we're competing, I'm good to go. But and yeah, and also I just wanted to say also just a shout out to Aurea actually for actually playing after the death of his brother. I feel like that's a player there that's shown character. He's shown great mentality to sort of say to his coach, you know what, I still want to play. So I just thought to give him a shout, and obviously rest in power to his brother.
Yeah, 100. I think finally though, Newcastle, the transfer window got announced today that it's going to open on the 27th when the season finishes on the 26th. So it's going to be a 10-week transfer window.
Yeah.
Surely we'll expect a Premier League decision by then on the takeover, because they cannot leave a club in limbo during the transfer window, can they?
But listen, man, do you know what? That's a good point. That's a good point. But personally, I've given up. Not to say that it's not going to happen, but I've sort of lost interest in it anyways, to be honest with you. And I was only interested in it because people were asking me questions, and I sort of tried to stay away from it at the beginning. But now I'm just like, what, like just come out and tell us like what's going to happen. So just so that we know. I mean, I'd rather know now than knowing in let's say August or end of August, when we've got I don't know, 6 weeks to buy players or whatnot. But the club do seem to be acting in a way which is quite proactive. They're sort of saying business as usual, but I don't believe that, to be honest with you. I believe Ashley wouldn't spend a penny until he knows the fate of the club. So it's not a great place to be, but at the same time, it's positive because obviously, we've not been told no yet. So it still can be a yes, isn't it? But it's just a matter of when. If I'm honest with you, and it is needed. It is needed because, like I say, just like it feels like the players have just, they've just been run dry, and I can't really fault them for the defeat this evening because, again, like Shelby played against City. He's played a lot of games in this last whatever for 5-6 games, and you can sort of see how tired he was, but he's still giving his all, and they all are, to be honest with you. But we just need some fresh ideas, fresh players, man, and hopefully a fresh owner.
All right, well said, mate. Good seeing you. Take care, man.
Cheers, man. Cheers.